So it's been a minute since I made a video. I'm definitely behind on what I wanted to get done already this winter, but I had a little passion project I've been working on, and it's kind of cool, so I'm gonna show you where I've been for the last month. It all kind of started with my missing defroster vents, and I was messing with my column shroud when this actually fell out. So it had fallen through the hole and then went down onto the floor, and it wasn't broken yet. I was pretty excited that I had a vent that the slat still existed on, but it was covered in dust, and I went into my kitchen and I ran it under some water, and the water pressure actually broke the slat. And that was a very disappointing moment, because I knew that even if I buy some replacement OEM vents, that they're probably gonna break during the install because they're just so old. They've been, you know, each of these vents has probably been exposed to a lot of sunlight over the last 35 years. So I don't really expect anything that I can buy to last or to get installed without breaking. So what I ended up doing is 3D scanning the broken vent, rebuilding it in CAD, and then 3D printing it in ASA. Now this is the first thing I've ever 3D scanned, it's the first thing I've ever built in CAD, and it's the first thing I've ever 3D printed. So that's why it took me quite a while to get this done, perfect this, and try and get it right, and get the fitment right, and make it high quality and as good as OEM. And to be honest, I'm pretty happy with how they came out. And what I did was I used a texturizer to give it that kind of dash texture, and then painted it in satin black. Now, the originals don't have as much of that texture. They do have some. However, they actually seem kind of out of place with the texture of the dash, which has got a lot more than the OEM vents do. In that a lot of the interior panels don't actually have a super consistent type of texture, as this the shroud here is a little bit different than the dash itself. So I chose to texturize it. I think it, you know, there's room for improvement here on the finishing process, but I actually like how it looks better than the OEM finish. Now, as far as strength goes, I mean, let's check this one out for strength here. All the slats are still there. This one I only used for test painting, so I did not finish it. I just sprayed on to make sure that it didn't clump up a lot with the texturizer, but once again, you know, I can press and flex on these slats, and they're not breaking. Still not broken. Step this up a notch. Still not broken. Now I will say one of my major concerns with making this, you know, I don't know the entire life of this dash. I only got my first RX7, and it's not even this one, in 2007. That'd be my white FC. And since 2007, that has lived in my garage and has never stayed really outside for even overnight. And its dash is gonna be warped differently than somebody's dash who lives in Florida, who might not have a garage, and it stays outside all day, every day. And with that problem, I made the vents a little bit larger, only in the clips. The rest of the vent is the same size. But the clips to close the gap on the dash, I've made just a little bit larger than stock, but people are free to modify those clips if they cannot get the vent in without breaking something. So what I have kind of made this for is not every clip has a fillet on it, so that I'd rather the clip break during an install than crack my dash. So if you can't get the vent in, which I would put it in the back and the front first, like this, and then I'm gonna take a scraper like this, and I'm going to bend the inside to make room while pressing down. I can't really hold this up and do it at the same time, so I'm just gonna do this real quick, then I'll show you the fitment. All right, so after gently assisting it with a non-metallic scraper, or, you know, I guess you could use a screwdriver if you wanted, it sits in pretty flush. I mean, for my not very warped vent, it's got decent overall fitment. There's not a lot of gaps here, so I'm pretty pleased with it, and I hope, you know, that others would be as well. You can see that there is plenty of strength here. I'm gonna put these up on my store, and if you have a FC that needs vents, you know, place an order. It'll help me with the next project, and I got some more plans, more things to make for the car. Probably some different panels here, probably some gauge stuff on the dash, maybe a back face for a race pack. But we'll see what I'm able to get complete.